FlossTube, I'm Nicole and this is DDsFlosstube number 38. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We've rolled around into another week. For those that are new here, welcome. Thank you very much for stumbling over me. Hopefully you'll hit that subscribe button and also the bell icon and give me a thumbs up as well. I'd really greatly appreciate that. And if you are new here, leave me a comment down below and tell me where you're watching from, because I always like to see where everybody's watching from. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. I really do appreciate you turning up every week and spending some time with me. All right, so I have managed to get our filming in for only 7 days after the last one, so that's exciting. I have been super busy, but I did want to make an effort to get in to film today, which is the 1st of July 2020. Basically, I wanted to do that because I wanted to give you a monthly wrap-up of June. So I actually touched a lot of projects in June, which was very exciting. I started doing things a little bit differently. When I started the year out this year, I started doing a lot of cross-stitch prompts and everything with School of Magical Stitches. While I am still a member of School of Magical Stitches, I've just given it a little bit of a rest because I've got a lot of other stuff going on. And especially with all the stuff that's going on, crazy stuff going on in the world, it just sort of, I wanted to take some of the stress off and I didn't want to feel burdened or obligated by my cross-stitch. So, for those that are new here, I only cross stitch in the evenings. On the weekends I do a little bit more, but for the most part I just cross stitch in the evening because that's when I'm free and clear of work and all the rest of it. Sorry if you can hear that lawnmower, but I have been waiting for ages to record this morning and everybody seems to be mowing their lawn this morning. So I'm just going to get done with it because otherwise I'll be sitting here all day. So anyway, I took a break in April and in May and also in June. So I haven't done any School of Magical Stitches. Although, as I said, I'm still a member and I still look at the prompts and all that sort of stuff. And I try to get as many stitches as I would if I was still in School of Magical Stitches. So to keep me on track and keep me moving through my whips, which I have 24 whips at this current time, there was a bit of a conversation over in Virtual Stitches and someone, I think it was Sammy J, said that she uses a decision wheel or a roulette wheel. So I went and got the app for it and I put all my whips into that, and so for the month of June, every day I have spun the wheel. Some days I have spun it and only put an hour in, other days I've spun it and put a good 6 hours in. So basically that's what I've been using, and I use the hashtag over on Instagram, today's whip to stitch, so you can see that, and I post up which whip I'm going to be working on my stories. And sometimes, not all the time because I'm not really good at Instagram, I post up on my newsfeed a before picture, so before I've started stitching. But as I said, I'm not real good at Instagram. I don't know why. I'm all over the other social medias. I post on Twitter regularly. I'm on Facebook regularly. I've got a couple of groups on Facebook, but for some reason, I don't know, Instagram, I don't know why. I just don't know why. But my goal for the second half of the year is to get better at using Instagram, because I do have a lot of friends that are on Instagram and I feel like I'm missing out on what they're doing as well. So I'm not suffering from fear of missing out or anything, or whatever the anagram is for that. But I feel like that they're putting a lot of stuff over there. A lot of people moved over to Instagram and I sort of didn't follow with them. So I made a goal with myself that I am going to try to focus more on the friendships that I have over on Instagram, and also posting on Instagram as well. Like, I do post on there, but it's a majority of quilting stuff that I've been posting. I don't post any personal stuff on there because it is a business page. So, so I'm just trying to get better at it. I don't know, it's a silly goal to have, but I'm trying to get better at it. But then again, I don't want to spend a ton of time on social media either. It's like, it's a constant tug and pull, really, isn't it? Like, do you put a comment down below and tell me how much time that you spend over on Instagram, and are you a struggler as well and don't always do it very well? So anyway, I have been trying to do that. I'm going to continue doing that this month as well. So I'm going to do it a little bit different. In the month of June, I just took screenshots and put it up on my stories. I've since transferred all the information from my phone because I don't have a camera. I just use my phone for all my recording. I've transferred all that information over onto my tablet, so I will do a little filming of it instead, just to mix it up a little bit. And then I have marked down in my planner that I must post every whip that I'm working on, and that will be in the evenings because, as I said, I only stitch at night, and I do about an hour to 2 hours depending how I'm feeling and how big a day I've had. All right, so that's enough about that. That's some of my plans and all the rest of it. But I do have a lot of stuff here. I have actually touched a lot of stuff this week. So this past week's seen the 25th of June, and the 25th of every month I actually stitch on a special piece that I designed this year. It was one of my first pieces that I've designed. It was a free chart, and you can find that over on our freebies page over on our website. And if you are on Instagram, the links are all up on my bio, so you can just go to the freebies. It's got useful links, and you click on that, click on the freebies, it'll take you straight to that page. So this is very much an Australian one. It is the Anzac one. Now this is the only one that has been absolutely planned. I'm still obviously not organized, so I'm just looking for the cover photo of it. Okay, so this is the cover photo of it. It's Lest We Forget, and it has the ode there, and it's got some poppies and whatnot. So I put this into a cross stitch design, and as I said, it is a freebie because I felt I couldn't charge for something that was so significant to our culture. And so basically that is there, and every month on the 25th I like to stitch on that. So whether I put, you know, half an hour or anything like that, just as basically I just try to get some stitches in. So I've got the last time you would have seen this, I had the Lest We Forget, and I had the T, the M, B and R in Remember, and so I got all that done on I think it was Thursday night. So yeah, so I got a fair bit done. So that's the bottom sentence of the ode. So it's moving along. I'm really happy with it. I'm just using 310, and I'm stitching on a natural linen, and it is 32 count for that one. So it was the first time I've really stitched on 32 count. I had another small project, but this is a lot bigger, and the natural linen, and I really like it. And the reason that I chose this colour and not a lighter colour is because I'm actually going to put a picture of my grandparents on either side of it, so in one frame. So this will get put in to the frame, and then their pictures will be on either side of it. So that's why I'm doing it on this colour fabric. And as I said, it's 32 count. All right, so these aren't in any particular order either. They were just spun up. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen when they were spinning up. So I've got a pile of cover pictures here, so I'm just going to pull them out, and hopefully I will have all my cover pictures here. I think I'm prepared, but I'm not 100% sure. So as I said, I only got a few stitches into that one, as you've seen. And the next one that I worked on, which was the series Farmhouse Christmas by Little House Needleworks. So that is the one I'm stitching on now. I've already done one of these, which is I did Grandma's Quilts. So that is off with Tia. Tia has just recently started doing a finishing service here in Australia. So for anybody here in Australia looking to get their cross stitch finished, head over to Tia's Instagram account or her Facebook page, which is Calm Creations, and send her a message and get some stuff finished. She's been doing some beautiful work lately. You can see most of her work on Instagram as well as her business page. So this is Dairy Darling, and this is the one that I'm working on. When I started doing this, I started doing them individual. I now regret that decision. I think I would have preferred to do it as a full piece, and I may still do it as a full piece anyway. All right, so the last time you've seen this, I had a little bit of the tree in. So I think I got a couple hundred stitches into this one, maybe not, 176. stitches I got into this one when it was spun up, but I'm happy with the progress. And the fabric choice was fairly unfortunate as well. I picked, this is a 18 count rustic. I got it from Sew It All Australia. Beautiful fabric. Did I get it from Sew It All? Yes, I got it from Sew It All. Great fabric. It's really nice to work on and all the rest of it, but it's just an unfortunate colour. I don't know if you can see that, but there is actually some white on there. So you can't really see the white. I've had some suggestions to tea dye it, but I don't want to tea dye it. I actually like the colour. So I'm still doing the white in it and all the rest of it, but most of it's on the border and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep going. I may put a little bit of silver through, like one strand of silver over the top part of the cross. So I'm going to have a play around with it. So as I said, the Grandma's quilt's already gone off to Tia, and she's just going to hold them at her place until I've finished them. So hopefully these will stitch up a lot more, like spin up in the wheel a lot more, and I can get them finished. So, and get them down to her, because she's going to do the same finish for all of them, and these are going to be ornaments, these ones. So I was pretty happy with that. I think I only spent an hour on that too, hour and a half. All right, so the next one that I worked on, which was one that I started at Christmas and didn't really do much on it, and it's spun up a couple of times this month, which has been great. And that is the Caterpillar cross stitch. It's called Deck the Halls. So that's what it's going to look like when it's done. I started doing it, as I said, in December. I do a 12 days of Christmas, sort of like a mania type thing, and basically I do a new start or work on a whip for the first 12 days of December, and I've just called it 12 days of Christmas. So this is when I started this in 2019, and I didn't really get much done. It said Build Snowman was the first one, and it took me a long time to build that snowman. But last time you seen this, I had just started doing the word mistletoe. Last night it spun up again, and I got some more into it, and basically I got the what did I get done? The T, S, the I, and the M, and I started on the bottom part of the E. So yeah, that spun up twice this month. So I managed to finish building the snowman and started on mistletoe. So I was pretty happy about that. All right, as I said, I touched a lot of things this week. All right, the next one that I worked on, and I didn't really get much into it. I'd had a huge day of bag making, and a lot of it didn't go my way. So it was a very stressful day, the day this spun up, but I still put some stitches into it. I think I put, where is my thing that I've got here? Santa's list. I put just under 100, I think 88 I put into this. So I done a little bit of a couple of little bits of snow and all the rest of it, which you can't really see. Okay. And I also started on the words, and this is what the chart should look like when it's finished. So I just used a 28 count tea dye from DMC, and I got that from 123 Stitch is where I purchased that from. So it's really nice to work on. It was a great color. I didn't have to dye. It was the perfect color that I needed. But again, this one was started in the 12 days of Christmas as well. All right, still on the Christmas theme, a lot of Christmas stuff spun up, but it was really good because it's stuff that I haven't touched in such a long time. You know, and you look at them and you go, not today, not today, I'd rather work on this or whatever. So it is working to get through some of these through some of these whips that have been hanging around for too long. All right, the next one that I worked on, it was the Snow Village. Basically, when I started this, I had a few of them. I just stuck my hand into the bag, and this is what I pulled out. Again, this was started for the 12 days of Christmas that I do on Instagram, and last time you sent it, would have had a little bit of the snow up here and part of the tree. And so I didn't really get a lot into it. It was a new start, which was great. But again, I made the decision to do these as ornaments, and I am sort of regretting that decision, I think. I'm not 100% sure yet. All right, so this is what I ended up getting done. I finished off down the bottom here. I finished off doing all the snow. There was just a couple of little bits of white underneath the tree last time you were here. I finished doing this here, and putting all the bits and pieces in down here. So the snow just goes up to the window, it'll come down and go up again. So I'm trying to get all the white done basically, and this is the top of the house at the moment. So yeah, it is coming along really well. I'm really happy with the progress. I would have probably liked a little bit more. I think I got 221 stitches into that, and it was all white, and I was a little bit cross-eyed after I'd finished doing it. But I do love this color. This is a 16 count Ada French Rain. I got this part of the Fat Quarter shop club. And so they just send it out each month. So the first month they sent out the first chart and all the fabric and all the floss that I needed. And then subsequently after that, every month they've been sending out the little charts. And I think I'm just about to pay for number 10 today because I got their email. All right, so last week I mentioned that I had a new start for Natalie's birthday, a lady that I stitch with over on Virtual Stitches. And she's got a floss tube called Nitty Nats, and I'm sorry if I got that wrong, Natalie. I will link it up down below so you can go over and suss it out. She's got a tutorial over there on the loop start, and she's also got 2 floss tubes as well. And she also just went on a retreat with Shady Tree Stitches, so you can head over to their channel and you can see what her latest works and everything there. All right, so that was the Blue Flower Sleeping Bee, and that's what I think I mentioned it last week, but I forgot to pull it out. So that's what it's going to look like. The model is stitched on 40 count, and I am stitching on 40 count for the very first time. So I'm a little bit scared. I'm using 1 strand over 2, and I'm a little bit scared, but I'm actually really enjoying it. And I haven't had to use a magnifier or anything like that. My glasses have been fine. I did put some readers on, you know, that you get from the chemist and stuff like that. And they were a 2, and that magnified it a little bit more than my glasses. So I'm thinking if I went and got a set of 3s, I should be fine, because I can see it okay. The color that I'm using is fine. The colors that I'm using in the chart are just the called for colors in DMC. I didn't use the Weeks Dye Work, so I just used the DMC colors. And yeah, so basically I thought I'd give it a go. It was a perfect opportunity. It wasn't a big project either, and when I start on something new like that, I like to start on a smallish project, although the hoop is huge. The project is not. So I am just doing it on a natural linen. I had some here. You can see there that I've just made a start on that. I think I've got 110 stitches into that. It wasn't a big start, but I started it late. So, and I don't like to stitch into the wee hours of the night, because that just makes things really, really hard. So as I said, I'm using the DMC colors, and it's 1 strand over 2, and I think I'm doing okay. I'm pretty happy with it. So I just started in the middle on that one because I wasn't 100% sure where to start. So I have started around about there. Just coming down into that motif there. So it's super cute though, and I cannot wait to get it finished. And if you didn't see last week's video, go back and have a look, because I to my haul I actually got a few other blue flower charts as well, so I'm super excited about those. All right, so this one didn't get spun up this week. It was just my regular Monday stitch. I usually stitch an hour on this every Monday at 10 o'clock for a live stitch with me. I've actually put my live stitch with me and my Finish It Friday live streams on hiatus for a little while, because I have a backlog of quilts and project bags and all that sort of stuff. So that gives me 2 extra days where I don't have to stress about being on YouTube or anything like that. So this one is the Halloween Quaker. There is a few of us doing this. Leanne from Morgana Stitchy Moon 75 and Gail Phillips are also doing this. A few other people have started doing this as well. Kimberly Ann from Kimberly Ann Designs. These are all people that have got FlossTube and are also on Instagram as well. We've all been doing this, and Leanne from Morgana Stitchy Moon 75 actually has a sale happening over on Instagram called Morgana's Birthday Sale, I think it is. So yeah, and she her requirements for her birthday sale was anything with a moon in it. So some people are doing Silver Creek stitches, other are just doing little Halloween ones that have got moons and stuff in it, but the majority of people are actually doing this Halloween Quaker. All right, so I am up to this motif here. This is page 3. I am going to have to stop doing this motif because the other night when I was working on it, I realized that I have made a mistake. It's not a big enough mistake to worry about, so I'm going to continue on with it. I just have to get these other ones in first. So I've got to go across to this one and then count from that one, go down and then across, and then I'll come back and do this one. Because if I continue doing that, and then I know me well enough to know that I would end up forgetting that I can't count from the cats. Yeah, so it's just what I've done is I've put an extra, so I don't know if you can see that, just under their belly, between their legs, I've put an extra stitch in there. So I've got to either frog it out, but I don't want to because it can be fudged. And I'm just going to leave it because I don't want to frog it out. So here is what it's looking like at the moment. Okay, I got a couple of 100 stitches into this. And so, yeah, so just here I've put in an extra stitch, which means that this is widened out. So I'm just going to leave it. Like, you can't even notice it. I'm just going to leave it. And there's another mistake in there, but, you know, I'm not going to point it out. But anyway, I just decided that what I will do is I will do the last motif next to the crow and then work down and then go across, and then whatever space I've got in there, I can work around, and then everything else will be in its place. And, yeah, and then I can just worry about the cats last. And the thing was, I actually purchased the pattern because of those cats, and they're giving me grief. Look at them. That's what drew me to this pattern. That little biscornu down there in the orange, and that's the motif there. So I actually want to do that as well, and this little one as well. So yeah, so I realized that I'd made a mistake and that I now need to fix it. And I was on virtual when I found the mistake, and so I put it out to the people, and the people said leave it and do that, what I'm going to do. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's fine by me. All right, so the last week I mentioned that I wanted to get my, where is my chart? I don't know where the chart is, the cover shot. Anyway, it is, it's over here, The Winter by Country Cottage Needleworks. And do I have the piece of paper? Yes, there it is. Okay, so this is what I'm working on. All right, I wanted to have this finished by the end of June. That did not happen because I'm renovating and all that sort of stuff. So you can see behind me all the piles of rubble that I've still got to find homes for and all the rest of it. So we've still got a lot of drilling and sawdust and stuff to happen. So that's why it's all staying there. So basically I wanted to get some stitches into this and I never did. And I decided that what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do it as like a daily 30. So do 30 minutes or 45 minutes on it. So basically, and I don't mean in the morning, it's just whatever time I start stitching, I'm going to do 30 minutes on it. So I set the alarm on my phone, and I just start stitching. It works out about 75 stitches I can get done in, because this is a fairly easy one. So I can get about 75 stitches in 30 minutes. So the last time you've seen this, I had just finished doing the, all of the banner. Okay, so I've filled in the white now in the banner. I've done this tree over here and also the pole, and I've also done the back stitching, which you can't really see just there between the banner. So I've done that, which got a good couple of 100 stitches into it just doing 30 minutes a day. So I was really, really happy with that. So I did 2 hours overall, and I got 221 stitches. So that was actually over 100 stitches for those, you know, like, yeah, about 75 stitches. Yeah, so I've got 221, and I spent 2 hours on it. That's what I've got written down here. So that must be what I've done. So yeah, so I would have probably liked to got a few more days in there, but that was 4 days out of the 7. This week will probably be a little bit better because I know that that's what I'm doing now. There was one day that I completely forgot to do it. That I had it all set out and I just went on to my other thing and forgot to do it. So yeah, that happens though. All right, the next one I worked on, like I said, I've worked on a fair bit. The next one I worked on was my long dog. This is a long Long Dog Leap Day Sal on Instagram. 2 Martini Stitches started this on the 29th for the leap year. We've got 4 years to finish it. That's my understanding of it. So this is the one I worked on because on Sunday we had DDs had a virtual stitch-in, sit and stitch, and basically once a month I put those on and a group of us all get in there. It's open to anybody. If you want to join, you just need to join our Facebook group, which is DD's Quilting and Crafting Group, and there'll be an event there. Hit going, send me a message, and then I can add you to the chat group, and that's where I put all the information, so password, the number that you need, and all that sort of stuff. We had about 11 people turn up on Sunday. It was a great chatting session. I don't know how much stitching got done, but I got a fair bit done. But we had a really good laugh. We had a lot of jokes and, you know, talked about our stitching and all that sort of stuff. And you don't have to just do cross stitch. You can do embroidery. We had a couple of ladies that were doing embroidery. You can come and sit and do your diamond painting if you want. You can do some English paper piecing. You can do whatever you want in there. The only thing we ask that you don't work on your sewing machine. But if you are going to work on your sewing machine, you just have to mute yourself so you can still listen to the conversation and join in whenever you want as well. All right, so this is Spangled. This is the one that I'm doing for the Leap Day Sal. The hashtag is down below. And yeah, you head over and check out the hashtag. There's some gorgeous stuff getting done. So I have transferred mine from a hoop onto a scroll frame, and I got 600 and, where did my piece of paper go? 613 stitches into this on the weekend, and there you go. So last time I had this star done, part of this star and that star filled in, and I think that little square there. So I've managed to get all of this done. So this edge here is the edge of page 1, and this is about halfway down. So I decided on the weekend as I was stitching, I was going to swap out colours and all that sort of stuff. If you want to see what colours I'm using, because I'm not using the called for colours, I'm actually, what I did was done a conversion to weeks and DMC. And if you want to see some of those colours, hit the hashtag, you'll see them there. And there's also a post on my news feed on Instagram as well. Okay, so on the weekend I was stitching away and I was going to start filling in the stars and all that sort of stuff. I had a different game plan and I decided to go with just stitching the black. And so what I'm going to do is, because there is a lot of black in the border, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch all the black, and you can see all I'm going to have to do is go and fill in. So that's what I decided to do to make it a little bit easier for myself. Rather than swapping and changing colours and everything, fill in the majority of the colour and get it done. So 613 stitches went in that. I spent 5 hours on that, which was really good. There was 4 hours in virtual, and then in the sit and stitch, and then an hour after the sit and stitch I sort of went and done some stuff and came back and put another hour into it. So I'm super excited about the progress that I made. Now, I did mention last time that I was pretty unhappy with how I was, like, I wasn't 100% happy with the fabric choice. I'm in love with the fabric choice now. And the reason that I'm in love with the fabric choice is because I was doing 2 strands of CXC, and CXC threads are just a little bit bulkier than the DMC. So, and so basically, like, these are still a little bit bulkier than the DMC as well, the overdyes. And I wasn't 100% sure about the fabric choice that I made, which is it's an 18 count Aida on sandstone, and I got it from Sew It All Australia. So basically what I decided to do is I swapped it out. So I'd only done a little bit in the CXC. And like just feeling the difference, just running my finger over, you can actually feel the difference. I love CXC threads. They are super well priced. They are pretty much matched colour for colour, maybe slightly lighter or darker. I use them in the majority of my projects, except for my Autumn Queen. That's all DMC. So just about every project that I work on, I am using the CXC threads, unless of course it was a kit and it came with the threads that I needed. So what I'd done was I was getting low on the CXC anyway, so I basically thought, bugger it, I'll change now, just in case that, you know, it's just slightly lighter or slightly darker. You won't really notice it that much because it was only the top border here, the little ears on that star down here, and just around that star. So basically what I done was I swapped it out for DMC, and the DMC thread is a lot, it's a lot thinner than the CXC. So the two strands weren't as thick. So they're going through the fabric a little bit better. If I was to do this in CXC threads, I'd probably do it one strand of thread. That would work a lot better. So now that I've learnt that on this Ada, I know that for the higher count fabrics such as 40 count, 36 count, and I'm not going any higher, but then again, it is me, so who knows. So basically I know that if I'm using the CXC threads, I need to just use one strand. And because I'm using the CXC threads on Sleepy Bee, you can see that it is a beautiful full cross that you're getting on that. Like, it doesn't pick up that much on camera, but in person, that one strand is just beautiful. And and that's on 40 count, and it's just a nice full cross. So I mean, I'm assuming that DMC would be exactly the same, just the CXC is just a little bit fuller. That's just my opinion, and that was my experience with this. So as I said, I swapped it out for 310 DMC, and it's going a lot better. I'm not getting, like, it was fraying, not fraying it so it broke, but it was pulling off fluff. So it was like I was getting lint all over the project. So I'm not getting that now with the black. So, and all the rest of the colours aren't CXC. They're all Weeks Dye Works. And I think there's one Classic Colour Works in there as well. They're all the overdyes and whatnot. So lots of progress on that. Hopefully that'll spin up a couple more times during the month of July, and I can get some more work in on that one. All right, so that is everything that I've worked on. That is all of my cross stitch. Now, as you know, I also do some hours in on hand embroidery on Fridays, just to switch off for the week. I don't want to count, I don't want to do any math, because my day job is quilting and bag making and a lot of math, and I just need a break every now and again. So the embroidery that I'm doing is anemones and eucalyptus reef, floral reef. So this is it. Not a great picture because my printer is on ink saving. So that is what it's going to look like. I didn't get very much into this because I didn't get on virtual on Friday night. I popped in, no one was there. I had a huge day, so I only done 2 leaves. That's all I done on that, so like 20 minutes. But it's still a little bit of progress. That's all that matters. So yeah, I didn't get much done on it at all. I just ended up going to bed and having an early night, and I think I needed it. So, but this Friday coming, I will be getting some more in there. I'm hoping to actually get the flowers done and get onto those, get the rest of those leaves done and all the rest of it. So, you might be wondering how many stitches and how many hours I did for the month of June. It's a little bit down. I didn't actually do a total for May or April because I was doing other stuff then, and I missed a few days and all the rest of it. This month I stitched every single day except for the 14th, where I was in the studio getting cabinetry in and all the rest of it, so I couldn't stitch, and that's a Sunday. And I was supposed to work on Harvest and Autumn Queen. I had spun them up in the morning, and Autumn Queen is my Sunday stitch. And so I didn't do any stitching on that. But yeah, I had a pretty good month. I got a finish, which was the Queen Bee Pincushion by Heartstring Samplery. I got that finished. And that is for our cross stitch retreat that we've got coming up in May 2021. And so the total number of stitches that I got in for the month of June was 7,297, and that equates to 64 hours of stitching. And so, because some days I stitch more than others, so that was 64 hours of stitching, and that works out to be 114 stitches an hour for those that might be interested in that. So yeah, so as I said, I'm going to continue on this month using the the decision wheel or roulette wheel. I have all my whips in there. I have 24 at the moment. So today, this evening or this afternoon, I will film that, put that up on my stories, take a snapshot of what I'm going to be working on, and then I will get stitching for that. I usually start around 7 o'clock. So if you want to come and join us over in Virtual Stitches, sometimes I'm over there on a Wednesday night, sometimes I'm not. Send me a message, I might be over there. You can always head on over and meet some other people as well. And keep an eye out for DD's monthly sit and stitch as well. That's in our group, so don't forget about that. But that is it for cross-stitching stuff that I've done. So we're going to move on to some things that are coming up. So some more plans. So as I said, I'm going to be still doing the roulette wheel. And so that's going to help me keep on top of my whips and all the rest of it. But we do have a couple of sales coming up, and I've just got to grab them. They're over here. Okay, so as you would have heard me mention, we have a few sales and everything coming up. I think I mentioned some of that last week. So the first one that I have coming up is for Gail Phillips. It's her birthday sale, and as you know, I am mildly obsessed with all the Hawk Run Hollow stuff, and she has all the charts as well. And for her birthday sale, she is actually starting the Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. So I'll pull that out so you can see it a little bit better. Sorry about all the rustling. And as you can see, I'm still standing up because I don't have everything in place for the filming in the studio just yet. So we are starting on the 18th of July is Gail's birthday. So this is her birthday sale, and this is what we're going to be starting on. So this is the picture of the chart. This is the front cover. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It is the Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. I absolutely love it. I think I'm going to start in the middle. And her hashtag for that is Gail's B-Day 2020 sale. So if you want to join in the fun, head over to Instagram, take a picture of what you're going to be working on, your fabric choices and all the rest of it. Use the hashtag. I'll put that underneath as well so you can make it nice and easy for you as well. And so I have already, as some of you may know, I have been kitting up these as I've been going. So I got 28, I'm doing mine on 28 count rustique. Okay, I got that from Sew It All Australia, and you can see those beautiful grainy bits through it. That's going to look lovely. It is on 28 count. I don't think I could have managed it on a 40 count, to be honest, or a 36 count. Maybe a 32 count, but I went for the rustique because it was just a beautiful fabric. It looks absolutely, the village that I'm doing it looks absolutely amazing on it. And all these charts are actually going into a quilt. So if you want to join along in the sale, head over to Instagram. As I said, the hashtag will be underneath, and it'll probably flash across the screen here too. Hopefully I'll remember to put that in. And you can come over and join in the fun. Gail and I will be starting that on the 18th of July for her birthday. So I'm going to stitch that along with her. All right, the other thing that we've got going on is my birthday is coming up in August. Now, my birthday is not until the end of August, the 27th, but I want to do something for my birthday. I didn't do one last year. Oh, yes, I did. I did the spring one, but that was to celebrate the Reed family because our birthdays basically go from the 8th of August right through to the end of October. So we have the 8th of August, the 27th of August, 21st of September, the 6th of October, and the 31st of October. And that's little Lamb. She's a little Halloweeny. So yeah, so basically I want to do something for my birthday that is not for the whole family this time. And the one that I did for that one is the spring chart for that. So I am actually going to do one of the new ones that I got. I have been waiting for this for so long. It's been out of stock everywhere. And then, someone would say they got it, I go there and it'll be out of stock. So it is the Blue Flower Night Walk Down, and that is the one that I'm going to start. The hashtag is going to be DD's B-Day Sale 2020. Very similar to Gail's, but it's just my birthday one. And I'm going to be starting that. I'm actually going to start it at the beginning of August, not actually on my birthday. I'm actually going to start it at the beginning of August. So around the 1st or 2nd, I'll start that. And yeah, I'm going to be doing it on the 40 count fabric, and I will be using DMC for this. I won't be using the Weeks Dye Works, although I probably do have some of those ones, and some of the classic color works as well. But I have CXC, which is equivalent to the DMC, excuse me, and that's what I'm going to do. So if you want to join along in the fun, come along, and I'll talk more about this during the month, but I decided today that that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start that at the beginning of the month. As I said, the hashtag will be DDs B-Day Sal 2020, and come along and stitch it with me. So yeah, I just love it. It just reminds me of crewel embroidery. I don't know, I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We also have another sale starting up. So the people that are going to be doing this one is Gail Phillips from Miss Stitch on Instagram. We also have Leanne from Morgana Stitchy Moon 75, and we also have Tia from Calm Creations, Nicole from Darvanalee Designs, and Nadine from Nad's Cross Stitch. And she's got a FlossTube and also on Instagram under the same name. So we are all going to be doing this one. I believe Nadine is going to be doing it with us. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't heard back yet. I've been talking to Gail this morning. We have a hashtag which is Halloween HRH. So Halloween HRH is the hashtag that we are using. Gail has already posted under it. I have already posted under it. I took a photo of my fabric and my chart, and also my new project bag for it that I made, which is over here. So this is the project bag for it. And the chart is obviously the Halloween chart from Hawk Run Hollow, which is Carriage House samplings. And I've also got my fabric. And because that's going to be part of that big wall quilt I'm doing, it is on the 28 count Rustique from Sew It All Australia. So I'm super excited. I've got all that. I am using DMC for this, and I'll be using all the called for colours. And there's a lot. There is a lot. That is the list of threads. So I've got to get all them together. I'll be working on that and getting them all sorted out. So we don't have a date for a start yet, so those details are still being worked out. I believe that we may be having a little bit of a meeting in a group chat, or maybe get together on Zoom or something. What do you reckon, girls? And we can work out a start date for that. Obviously it's for Halloween, so we can start at any time really, but yeah, we'll work out the dates and everything like that. So you'll have to come back, or you can head over to Gail Phillips channel, Morgana Stitchy Moon's channel, Tia from Calm Creations channel. We will all have that information for you. We would love to see a lot of you come and join in the fun. It is for the Hawk Run, the Halloween chart that we're doing. I don't think that we are doing anything else in that, but we will have more details to follow that in the coming weeks, because the weeks are flying by, and before we know it, we will be at Halloween. I've got another thing that I'm doing in the month of October. I have 17 Halloween charts that I want to start, and so I've put that into a spinning wheel as well. So all right, that is all the sale news. All the hashtags will be underneath in the description below. So if you missed anything, just head down to there and you'll be able to find it all underneath there. All right, so I'm going to move on to some haul. Now, I have a little bit of haul. It seems to have all come in. The posting is starting to move a lot better. I've noticed in the last couple of weeks that things are starting to come in from things that I ordered back in April and all the rest of it. That backlog must be just starting to shift now. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will start to get back to normal. All right, so the first one is my monthly club. So this is the Country Cottage Needlework Snow Village. I got this through the Fat Quarter Shop. This is number 9, and it is the Ice Creamery one that's coming. So that will go into the project bag with the rest of them, and when I go to do something, I just pull them out. I don't pick anyone in particular. I just pull them out. And that's what I'm going to work on. The next one that came is my monthly surprise chart that I got from Nicole from Journey of a Stitcher. She's my favourite Etsy shop to shop in. She's here in Australia, down in Victoria, and I try to get all of my charts through her. Sometimes I can't because she doesn't have them, and I need to have them, but and I think that's just a separate hobby in itself. But this one is the Carriage House Samplings Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. So she did tell me that I've only got 3 more to go, so I've nearly got them all. She's keeping track of it for me, and Tia is actually stitching this at the moment, and it is very, very cute. I love it. This again will be stitched on the 28 count rustic. So now that I've got the chart, I can go and order the fabric and then pop it in there, and then I know I've got it. So basically that's what I do. I when the chart comes in, usually within a week of getting it, I will go and order the fabric, because I don't want to get to a point where, you know, I'm stitching away and get halfway through all the charts and then I don't have the fabric because it's not available anymore. And so basically I just grab a meter of it. It's actually really nice fabric. I do end up with a little bit left over so I can use it for other smalls and stuff like that. So I've only got 3 to go. So that's exciting. Now, there's been some enabling happening in the over here in DDs. I was watching the lovely Gail from Gail Phillips, and she was showing me, or showing everybody, not just me, but I think it was all directed at me. She was showing her purchases of some Halloween things that she had. So whether she had purchased them at that point, but they were going into her Halloween room. I too am doing a Halloween room where I'm putting everything up on the wall and on shelves and all the rest of it. And that is near a little like office nook that I've got there in the house. And that's where I'm sort of putting it all. And I think it's perfect for that, because the little Halloweeny is in the room next to it as well. And she likes all things Halloween, so she likes the black cats and stuff like that. So, and she comes out in her costumes throughout the year and go trick-or-treating. And I have never let my kids do trick-or-treating because I think it's contradictory. You know, don't take candy from strangers and then you go and knocking on strangers' doors. So we've never really done it. But now that it's her birthday, I think she's going to get to do it. And much to the girls, her auntie's disgruntlement. So anyway, I cannot pronounce who this is. So if you want to know who this is, go back a couple of videos to Gail Phillips, and she pronounces it. I cannot. It's an Italian designer. Kuro, I don't know. You can try and read it for yourself. I'll hold it close enough so you can see it. So this one is called Halloween in the Rain. It is, most of these ones are either stitched on 32 count or 35 count, and it's 193 stitches by 195. So this is the designer, okay, and this is the chart that I got. I love it. It's so cute. So her stuff is just gorgeous. So I went a little bit crazy because, like I said, this one, oh, that's so cute, I need to have it. So I was, you know, flossing and shopping at the same time. So yeah, and I pause and then go and find it. So I got all of these over at 123 Stitch, and I was really surprised. Like the postage for 123 Stitch was $4.99. That's all they charged me, and these all came together. The next one I got from the same designer is this one here. I'm trying not to get I don't want to open them up. So there you go. A bit of a reflection, but how cute are they? They're so sweet. And like, these are going to be perfect to be near Mia's room. Like, they're very whimsical and childlike. I like them. Then there's this one. I fell in love with these as soon as I seen them. These are little pin keeps. So I'm going to just do them as little ornaments, I think. Yes, I think I will. I'll do them as little ornaments, but they're super cute. And again, it's not like they're super scary or anything like that. They're very whimsical. This one is called Halloween in Quilts. So that'll be a little bit of a larger piece. That's on 32 count. That is 160 by 240. And I've actually got her... now this is... I didn't know this when I first started cross-stitching. I wasn't aware. I was very uneducated. Didn't realize that that's what was happening. I thought they were legit. I bought something off AliExpress, and my bad. I'm now educated and now know that they are just ripping off the designers. So it was called Christmas Traditions over on AliExpress, and I went and looked at all this designer's charts and all the rest of it. It turns out it's not Christmas traditions. It's actually called Christmas in Quilt. So they say Halloween in Quilt. And it's sort of the same sort of layout, and it's all Christmas stuff. It's a beautiful chart. Like, unfortunately, I haven't done any work on it because the fabric that I've got, I turned it the wrong way, so it's not going to fit going across. So I've actually got more fabric, and it's going to be a new start this Christmas. I'm going to start it again. And what I've already done, I'm just going to turn into a little flat fold or something along those lines that'll go off to Tia for her finishing services. So that is, yeah, that is Halloween in Quilt. I think that's gorgeous. So that will be getting hung up there. And then we've also got Welcome Great Pumpkin. Again, like, these aren't real scary or anything like that. So I think they're going to be perfect for outside, because her room borders onto this, so she has to walk through there. And check it out. Little pussycat as a ghost, and a little Dalmatian as a witch. How cute is that? And then the last one, which was probably my most favorite, it is Halloween and cross stitch. How cute is that? Look at all the spools and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with that. And all these will probably just get framed or flat folded, or some of them will get, the smaller ones will get put into ornaments and stuff like that. And I'll probably just have a little Halloween tree in there and all the rest of it. But that's adorable. I love it. I love the little, the pins. How cute are they? So that is that. That was all my haul. It all came in at once this month, so I was pretty happy with that. They are all getting put into my Halloween wheel that I'm going to spin, and as I said, I've been using that for my whips, and I'm going to use that for my new starts and stuff in October for Halloween. All right, so the last thing is, it's the first of the month, so we've got a little giveaway for everybody. This is open to worldwide, but please understand that the shipping from Australia to the rest of the world sometimes can happen and sometimes can't. So at the moment, we cannot send anything to Canada. Canada is not accepting parcels in or anything like that. They are accepting letters, but they are not accepting parcels. The post office said that they were talking about doing by flights. They're not accepting any parcels. So any parcels that are going to Canada, they are talking about putting on a ship. So I have to go down on Thursday to see the boss down at the post office here and find out what's going on, because the website's not always up to date and accurate, because they've said that they're posting to Canada and then I go down there and they're not. So just be aware that if you do win, I will get it into the mail if I can send it to you, and it may take a little while to get to you. Some of the letters that I've been sending for our clubs and stuff like that have been taking anywhere up to 10 weeks to get to people. But as I said, things are starting to flow a little bit quicker around Australia and things coming in. So I ordered those Halloween charts directly after Gail's video, like during Gail's video, and they came this week. So they came pretty quick. Compared to like in April and May, things just weren't moving. All right, so we have a little giveaway. I usually ask a question. It runs for the month. And basically this is a handmade item by me. It's a little needle book. It's got floss and pins on it and cotton. It's, so you can see the floss cards up there. There's a floss on the back. You've got cotton reels, and then you've got little pin cushion on top of it. It comes neatly packed like this. These are ones that I sell on my website and in the Facebook group, and basically it comes with 4 pages. It's super cute. It's got a snap on it. I'll just open it up so you can see there. It's got little floss on it and all the rest of it. So you just open it up. It's got some felt in there to put some needles in, and you just snap it closed. And it's done. So my question to you is, have you ever participated in a sale on Instagram? Leave me a comment down below and tell me yay or nay. Make sure that you put SAL, Sal, in there, that I know that that's what I'm looking for. And yeah, let me know if you've ever participated before. But that is it. And then you can win this. But that is it from me today. Relatively long one. I touched a fair few things. I didn't work on my Autumn Queen though this Sunday because I had the virtual sit and stitch. So I'm hoping to get some stitches into that. And as you can hear from that knocking, that is Mia telling me it is time for me to stop talking and get off this video and get it uploaded to YouTube. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it, and that way you won't miss out on any future posts. And for those that missed my name at the beginning, I'm Nicole Reed, and this is DDsFlosstube. Have a great week, everybody, and happy stitching, and bye for now.